Herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Folge von The Cat Lady. Ein Let's Play, was wir jetzt irgendwann mal hier bald zu Ende bringen sollten. Wir waren ja eben gerade bei der Paulina im Zimmer und haben da ein bisschen rumgeguckt, was da so abgeht. Und als Babysitter ausgegeben. Haben wir das Stromkabel da gekappt, was hier ist. Und der olle Jesse ist jetzt losgedackelt zum Elektroladen und holt neue Sicherungen. Oder Sicherungskasten. So genau weiß ich es gar nicht mehr. Und wir gehen jetzt einfach mal in seine Wohnung rein. Und gucken, was der da so alles in seinem Internet hat. Oder in seinem Computer. Und ja, den find doch mal.
Now that he's gone, we can get inside.
Yes, let's do that.
I'll close my eyes and you pick that lock, Mitzi.
Okay, but no peeking.
I'd never. You've really hurt my feelings now.
Yeah. Now close them.
Ah. Da, Job erledigt. Beautiful.
Jesus, are these...
Relax, Mrs. A. They're just Halloween masks.
Oh, good. That's good. Because I swear, if I see another bloody head...
Ah, guck mal, wir können eine Maske noch nehmen. Welchen nehmen wir denn? Nehmen wir eine Clowns-Maske. Ich hasse Clowns so sehr. Ich würde diese Maske hier lieber nicht daneben. Ja, Clowns sind echt crazy, ne? Teufel! Ich würde darunter erschrecklich schwitzen. Es gibt so etwas wie viel Gummi. Schade, nehmen wir einfach nur die Hockeymaske. Pflanzen untersuchen. Keine davon sind illegal aus. Er mag wohl einfache Pflanzen. Oh, ist das ein Langweiler. Ziemlich große Pflanze. Dieser Lautsprecher ist riesig. Und er ist mit Jesses Computer verbunden. Immer wenn er Musik hört, muss diese Wände wackeln. Schalt ein. Das klappt nicht. Scheinbar hat jemand den Strom aufgestellt. Scheiße! Verdammt! Steckdose untersuchen. Das PC ist hier eingesteckt. Wenn wir Zugang zu einer funktionierenden Steckdose hätten. Guck doch. Ich hab doch hier alles. Alles dabei.
So, who's got windows over this side of the building?
Now this is a dress worthy of the Cat Widow. I guess we could also check one flat below Joe's. I just hope the cable's long enough.
Let's find out, shall we?
Keine Ahnung, wie sie es jetzt verbunden hat, aber sie hat's gemacht. Pff. Das klappt nicht. Scheinbar hat jemand den Strom aufgestellt. Er war... Okay. Nur die Ruhe. Wir gehen einfach mal runter. Sie hat das Kabel einfach nur rausgehangen. Okay, jetzt weiß ich's. Oh, das war... Schau die Karte an. Der alte Mann macht nichts. Er ist doch dieses nervige Hoch und runter. Ja, hier komme ich auch nicht rein. Mann. Keine Ahnung, ich hoffe jetzt mal, dass das Kabel lang genug ist, dass es auch hier unten angekommen ist. Öffnen. Hoffentlich guckt das Kabel ja tatsächlich hier raus. Das wäre ein mega langes Kabel dann, ne? Tatsache! Wie lang ist das denn? Und nur wegen den Scheiß wieder hochlaufen. Lauf, 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 lauf. Geh die Treppe hoch, geh die Treppe wieder runter und geh sie wieder hoch und geh die Treppe wieder runter. Up
Right.
and down.
I should be able to use that computer now. Could you give me 5 minutes, Mrs. A?
Sure. Why not? I'll keep an eye on the door.
Ich geb dir doch immer die Minuten, die du brauchst. Das sind so viele Minuten. Unglaublich viele Minuten. Wie viele Minuten du schon wieder bekommen hast. Wie viele Stunden du schon von mir bekommen hast.
Him either. God damn it.
Brian. Dann ist es wohl Brian. Always look on the Brian. Lassen wir es einfach so. Es fällt nicht auf. Ab in den Keller. Achso, was ist denn das hier für ein Brief überhaupt? Lesen. Das ist vom Dr. Frank Zellmann. Scheinbar ist Dr. Frank Zellmann. Dr. Frank Zellmann. Dr. C. Der kommt mir irgendwie bekannt vor. Dr. Frank Zellmann? Ist nicht aus irgendeinem Film? Dr. Frank... Ach, keine Ahnung. Scheinbar ist das Joe Psychopath. Alles klar. Ich glaube, der ist doch aus dem Film. Was macht den Einstein, dass Joe in letzter Zeit seine wöchentliche Sitzung verpasst hat? Schau an, schau an. Sieht so aus, als wäre Joe genauso kaputt wie ich. Oder schlimmer? Wer weiß. Es sollte wirklich die letzte sein, die hier Urteile fällt. Dr. Frank Zellmann. Muss ich mal googeln. Frank Zellmann. So. Eine einfache weiße Maske mit 2 Löchern für die Augen. Aber ich kann die Schere benutzen. Mein
We
Modebewusstsein.
need to make some adjustments.
Ratsch, 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 ratsch. Schnippel, schnappel, schnippel.
Now this is a dress worthy of the Cat Widow.
Why don't you admit it was too small for you?
Ha ha, bloody ha. Why don't you just shut up? Whoever wore this dress probably hadn't eaten in years. You'd struggle to get a skeleton into it. This is it. We've got all we need.
Great. Are you going to tell me about the Cat Widow now?
Yes, it's story time,
Oh,
Mitzi.
Jawohl, eine Geschichte.
The legend says there was once a bad man who hated cats.
Passiert noch was?
He hated his bald head and his weak, ugly body. He probably hated himself the most, although he would never admit it.
I think I see where this is going.
One day, out of pure hatred for the whole world and everything that lives, he captured a family of cats and drowned them all in the river. That day, the sun turned black and all the birds went silent as the 6 kittens struggled for life. But trapped in a strong canvas bag, they never had a chance. They all died that day. All but one. The mother cat, in a desperate fight to set herself free, by pure luck, clawed her way out of the bag and swam to the shore. She stayed on the bank of the river for a while. The world stopped turning for her, her eyes empty and blind. Her heart crashed into pieces as she watched their limp, dead bodies stolen by the current. Running after them, she followed them for days, for as long as she could. Then, eventually, she lost sight of them. She stayed on the bank of the river for a while. The world stopped turning for her, her eyes empty and blind. And then, one day, she slowly slid down the bank and into the cold, dark water. She gave in to it. She let the river take her away too, cover her mouth, her ears, her eyes. But as the water filled her lungs, and she started slipping into darkness, there was another strange feeling that burst in her mind like a ball of flames. Anger, rage even. Her last craving, before she drowned, was for revenge, for blood. And so she returned, reborn and changed, a cat widow, veiled in black, mistress of the cats. Her body of a young woman, but her eyes of a cat, and her face, white, rotten, face of a corpse. Those who saw it rarely lived to tell the tale. She would get her revenge on all cat killers and cat torturers, but there was someone she had to see first, someone special, someone she really hated the most. As the evening came, it was strangely quiet in the man's flat. As he lived alone, he usually liked to fill the silence with the sound of radio or TV shows. But that night, he switched them all off, feeling anxious and tired after work.
Es ist immer so traurig.
He tried to sleep, but couldn't. And for once, there wasn't anyone there he could blame for it. As he stared through the window, he kept thinking about how much he hated that view. He liked it once, a long time ago, when his wife was still there and they were happy together. Suddenly, he heard knocking on the door. Some part of him was glad, because that meant he could take it out on whoever decided to bother him. There was nobody there. He almost felt disappointed, but before he turned to walk away, he suddenly noticed something down the hall.
An einer nahegelegenen Wand war der riesige Schatten einer Katze. Er bemerkte den Schatten einer verhüllten Gestalt vor ihm. Der tote Körper einer ausgeweideten Katze hing auf der Heizung.
He noticed a shadow of a cloaked figure standing ahead.
Mutig, der Typ.
He stopped again. He couldn't believe his eyes.
Jemand hatte Katzenmörder auf seine Tür geschrieben. Der Schädel einer Katze steckte auf den Sattel seines Fahrrads. Jemand hatte Arschloch auf seine Tür geschrieben.
Someone wrote "Cat Killer" on his door.
Cat Killer.
He had a passion for trains. Although he hated being a train driver, he had always enjoyed watching them move. But now, his train model was moving all on its own. He was absolutely certain he'd left it switched off. And yet, there it was. running at crazy speed, remote control missing. Something was seriously wrong, and that something had entered his home now too. He hoped he was just imagining things, tired as he was. But there was another surprise waiting for him in his bedroom.
Eine riesige, im Blut getränkte Zombie-Katze saß auf seinem Bett. Cat Widow ist hier. Die Katze Witwe ist hier. Stand überall.
Cat Widow is here was written all over the wall.
What the fuck, sagte er sich gerade und guckte die Wand an. Er war verwirrt. Wie im Traum ging er in die Küche, um etwas zu trinken. Jetzt bekam er wirklich Angst und entschied sich, die Polizei zu rufen. Wo ist sie? Sie geht in die Küche und
As
wird
in
was
a
zu trinken.
dream, he went to the kitchen to get a drink.
Sicher mit einem Klospüler.
There was no water. He knew there were valves in the basement that turned it off, but no one's been down there for years. He felt sick. None of this made any sense. And yet, deep down, he knew what he did to the cats was wrong. There was a part of him that almost wanted to be punished. The part he tried so hard to hide. He thought he'd heard something in the corridor. Was there someone there with him?
Ein Schatten. Aus dem Augenwinkel.
His head was spinning. He felt ambushed, trapped, like an animal. He had to get out of there.
Jetzt bekam er wirklich Angst. Und er entschied sich, die Polizei zu
Getting
rufen.
really scared now, he decided to call the police.
Schnell ging er in sein Schlafzimmer, guckte nochmal aus dem Fenster und nahm das Telefon zur Hand.
His phone was of no use. The SIM card had been removed, and that wasn't even the worst part. There was a photo of a black cat set as screensaver. He remembered this cat. He'd watched that strange pest control man put it in a cage and into his van. He'd looked at it through the window for a while, then pulled the curtains and went to bed.
Er fing an zu schwitzen, lief hin und her
He
in seiner
stopped,
Wohnung.
paralyzed. He'd heard something right in front of him. A whisper. More like a purr. She was there, in the dark corner of his living room, waiting. Black veil covering that pale, dead face. And yet, he could almost feel Cat Widow's eyes piercing through him.
Cat Widow zielt mit einer Schrotflinte auf seine Brust. Sie kam näher, wie ein Gespenst, und lüftete schnell
She
den
came
Schleier.
closer, like a ghost, and swiftly removed the veil. She came back for him, to take him to the river, to make him pay for what he'd done. As he looked into her eyes, he could feel the world spinning around him, his knees go weak, his pants suddenly wet around his crotch. As much as he hated life, he didn't want to die either. Inside, he was just a big, stinking coward. And then he fainted. Did you see his face? I knew he'd fall for this.
Yeah, we scared the living shit out of him. Now that's teamwork. Are you sure he won't know it was you, though?
Oh, he probably will, once he's had time to think about what happened. But he's too proud to ever admit he's been beaten by a woman. I know him just about enough to know that.
Let's hope so. I don't want you to get in trouble because of me.
No. That was something I had to do for myself, and I feel much better for it.
The only problem now is that we still haven't found Eye of Adam. Because it definitely isn't Brian. The only problem now is that we still haven't found Eye of Adam. Because it definitely isn't Brian.
Let's cross him off the list.
Tja. Dann fehlt theoretisch gesehen nur noch Susanne. Gehörte sie dazu? Hat Mitzi alles schon gewusst und ist deshalb zu uns gekommen? Und so tun, als ob sie jetzt meine Freundin wäre? Das erfahren wir vielleicht in der nächsten Folge. Bis dahin, danke fürs Zuschauen. Ciao, Leute!